It's been since I was, I don't know, 30 years back or something like that. Everybody tells me to grow up, but I don't feel like it.
Peter, thank you so much for your time today. How are you doing?
No problem. Thank you. I'm doing good. Getting ready with the for the festivals and stuff like that. That starts soon. Actually, it started a little bit earlier than we thought. We got like a emergency booking, so we're like, oh, suddenly it's 4 weeks earlier. So now it's a little bit panic about things, but we'll get there.
Yeah, so 4 weeks less to build that Robo Cup that's gonna play flute on stage with you.
Exactly.
You know, this is quote unquote yet another release for you, but you've said before, you know, doesn't matter. After hundreds of albums that I've been part of, every time something comes out, I'm always still excited about that. I know that you told me last time, like, you know what, the label, you know, they've been working with me for so long, they let me do whatever the fuck I want. So when you in Push the Pusher, you're saying that you're tired of all the complaints. It's clearly not the label. Who are you talking about?
Oh, just in general. It's been since I was, I don't know, 30 years back or something like that. Everybody tells me to grow up, but I don't feel like it. So it inspired me a little bit on when I was doing the song itself. And yeah, sometimes you have some arguments with people and stuff, and it kind of triggered me to, you know, it's a little tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, you know. Maybe it's cheesy, I don't know, but we all don't want to grow up, I think, and we probably never will, because we're usually always young at heart. So to say, even if we're old of age. But, you know, I think we're, especially guys, we're pretty immature, I would say. But, you know, that's how it is. You know, you got to enjoy your life. So.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I want to talk to you for a moment about, you know, the Big Lebowski, the Coen brothers, and obviously Peter coming, you know, in your music video for Go With The Flow. Yeah. Like, you channeled your inner dude for Party in My Head. And then now, and that was already 2 years ago. Now you got Peter joining you for songs, but also for the video. Very much Fear and Loathing Las Vegas inspired video for Go With The Flow. How hard was it for you not to continuously quote the Big Lebowski around Peter?
I don't know. I mean, I've known him for 15, 20 years. So, I mean, for me, he's a friend, you know. For other people, he's a huge movie star, you know. But we always have such a great time together. So, I mean, it's always a pleasure to work with him. It's never a quiet time on pauses and things like that. You know, we always have like 2 acoustic guitars on a rider every time we do something together. So while we're waiting for people to change lights or camera or whatever, you know, we sit and jam or talk Beatles stuff and shit like that. So no, it's fucking great, you know.
Did you watch the Get Back, this documentary series? Because I find like a lot of Beatles fans either loved that or extremely hated it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. This is what I always miss when they do documentaries with Ben. How did they write? You always see that they're recording a song or whatever, but you never understand how the, you know, artists write music. So I thought it was pretty cool how you can see how things work those days, you know.
Yeah. It doesn't take what I heard some people say, the magic away for you.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm a musician myself, so I pretty much know how things goes sometimes, you know, when you don't agree and things like that. Normal day at work.
Yeah. You started sharing yourself also like more. I mean, obviously we live in a world where a lot of the promotion for a new album just, is online and on the social platforms and what
Mhm.
have you. We've seen you
Yeah.
starting to share more snippets as well of you explaining stuff, but
Yeah.
also some more unfiltered, behind the scenes footage. Like
Yeah.
we made the joke about RoboCop on stage, and the fans will know
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Is that something
Yeah.
for you that you just know, like, normal day at work and that's part of it, or do you still have some um, constraint about opening the door too much?
Yeah. Well, also you're very lazy sometimes, but I mean, in the end, I would say I thank Anna, the manager, to pushing me to do
Hmm.
these things. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
you have to be in contact with your fans, and today it's so different from the past, and people seems to enjoy it, and I learn a lot about people who listens to my music
yeah,
in that way as well, because you do Q&A and stuff like that with people and see what they think and how they like things, and so yeah, I think it's very important. I'm still uncomfortable sitting talking. I really don't know what to say, but usually these question comes up and you try to stop the scrolling and start to answer. Sometimes you
yeah,
just go
yeah,
whoop, and that, what was
yeah.
that? And you try to live. So I mean, I think it's the same thing for everybody.
Yeah,
When you especially, I mean, if you do it on a laptop or something, maybe it's easier, but. It's so much more flexible to have it on your phone,
yeah,
and
yeah,
do
for
it.
sure. The Spain album's coming out. I had a chance, obviously, to listen to the full album. It's from a musical perspective, it's a party, but you
Yeah,
deal with some darker stuff. Is it then sometimes
yeah,
weird for you as an artist when you see, especially on these festival shows, where people are checking you out, having a good time, dancing on Pain, which not
yeah,
every metal band can do. Um,
yeah.
but you're actually dealing about some really dark themes. Is that sometimes weird as a discrepancy to see?
No, not really, because you just need to ventilate. I mean, for me, when I write about dark stuff, it's more or less just to ventilate, and
Yeah,
I mean, it's therapy for me to write music and write lyrics. You get it out of your system, and so I mean, our crowd basically, at least in Europe now, it was we did like a warm up thing in November last year, and we just started to analyze our crowd a little bit on the tour, and we were like,
yeah,
it's amazing to see all these couples standing holding hands and dancing, and also a lot of women as well. So it's a huge different from hypocrisy, and
yeah.
also the music is different too.
Of course.
So I think it's easier for people to get into. So we don't mind at all. Everybody's welcome. Put it that way.
The fans of old school industrial, and especially when in the early days that was very close to goth scenes, like late 80s with uh, KMFDM and Sisters of Mercy and stuff like that.
Mm.
Fans of that music are going to find themselves in your new music. I think about a song like Not For Sale, for example, where I think those connections are really there. But you're also
Yeah.
inspiring. I know people that discovered, for example, KMFDM because they started their journey with Pain. And
Yeah.
like a younger generation, if you will, those bands that are no longer around,
Yeah.
realizing that you have this platform and such an impact on people that you can actually be a gateway, if you will.
Yeah.
Is that cool to see?
I think it's very cool. I mean, anything that pushes people in emotions and make them interesting is really good. I mean, when I started in mid '90s with Pain, I tried to do Goa trance music, and
Yeah,
I had such shitty sounds, so I started putting distorted guitar on top, to cover all the shitty sounds I had. But I was never into like, um, let's say, Ministry and the
Right.
Crooks. It was afterwards. A few years later, I got into the more what do you say, industrial kind of stuff.
Yeah.
From the late '80s or so. So I got more and more familiar with it as I was writing my own music, because I was just focusing on trying to do really epic Goa trance songs. But yeah, that's how it goes. You live and learn.
I'm going to use what you just said, like you live and learn over time, as a bit of a forced segue to one song that obviously stands out on this album is My Angel. Now, My Angel we've seen before, heard before in 2011, I think it was, released as a single.
Maybe if you were quick, because we were, I think it was a year ago, and my manager Anna said like, "Hey, what song is this?" And she found it on YouTube.
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot about this one." Well, it should be out on iTunes, I said. And she's like, "Nope, it's not." And I'm like, "But it was." But now we start thinking, how long was it out for? Was it a week, a month, or whatever? And a record company has no clue what happened, because they changed a lot. Nuclear Blast. When they got bought by Believe and things, so a lot of people changed, and we have no clue how long it was out. But at least a few people saved it on YouTube, So that's where you have the original, and it's more or less like, it could be more like a demo thing, I would say. Cleaned it up, and I asked Cecil like, "Hey, I think the album." The song itself didn't really come out, and I was wondering if you mind if I give it a proper release now with the album, because it's been over 10 years, and you think everything is cool, and you don't think about it, and all Sunday this stuff. So I got permission to release it on the album now, so now it will get a proper release.
If I remember correctly, last time we spoke 2 years ago, you mentioned that you were getting started, or you had started on this Pain album, but that before you did that together with Sebastian, you wrote music that could have been another album, but that was just, kind of locked away. Is that true? Is there an album out there with never released music that you made with your son?
We did demos. It's on our computers, but that's about it. One song became Dead World.
Okay.
That Sebastian wrote. That was one of the songs in these, I don't know, 10, 11 songs that we wrote together, me and him. But we wrote them more like demos, And most of the songs didn't have vocals on it. It just had the music structure on it. So
So they might trickle in future releases if the time is right, or?
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of work, because we were just sitting a whole summer and just ideas popping up. We're just documenting it, and definitely there is still some shit in there that you could use, I think. But I don't want to recycle things,
right?
But if it's worth it, then we will definitely do something with them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, to kind of start wrapping us up, like in 2022, Hypocrisy played Wacken again. I know that was meant to be, I think, in 2020 or 2021 to celebrate 30 years. Pain is coming up to his 30th anniversary as well.
Oh my God!
Life doesn't stop. I think you told me before that you watched the Big Lebowski, to bring us back to the start of this conversation, with the guys from Children of Bodom over and over when the Blood Drunk album was being recorded. That's also already 16 years ago.
I know.
All these things. Does it make you think more about legacy today? Do you look back a little bit more?
No. The only time I look back is when I start write for a new album. Like with the Pain album, I listened after I released Party in My Head 21. I don't know, April, May, or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I was done writing that song in first quarter of 21, then I felt like, okay, I need to write a little bit before Hypocrisy comes out, because then I'm occupied with Hippo.
Right.
So I went back and listened to Coming Home all the way through from the beginning to the end. And after that, I gave it my review, and I felt like it was kind of sleepy and very experimental on some songs and stuff like that. And that's how I was feeling then, you know?
Yeah.
So the first thing I did, I was like, okay, I need more distortion and I need more industrial. So actually, I wrote Push the Pusher after Party in My Head.
There's a party in my head. We're all locked up. We're all shut down.
Whether or not there's going to be a big 30th anniversary show for Pain at a festival or some sort to celebrate that legacy. Right now, we focus on the new album coming out soon in May. And you're going to be, again, extremely busy and then work on 500 new albums of other bands in between.
No, I don't. I don't do any productions anymore because I really don't have time for it. I'm helping some friend of mine now out to make their album, but this is blues music. I mean, pure blues. So I do things that I don't normally do instead of doing same things. And well, you get better of doing things over and over again, but I really feel that it's got to be interesting for me to do. Then maybe I'll produce something, but it depends what comes up. Never say never. Put it that way.
Exactly. Never say never. Maybe that is a great title for a future anthology of Pain to capture your journey. Also, Peter, thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. I know how busy you are and how many interviews you have to do. Thank you so much, and I look forward to the full release.
Yeah, thank you. And hopefully September we'll go back to North America. We're working on it right now, so we'll
be there front row.
All right, cool.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.